Sam, you know Sterling Cooper, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to catch up last week. Yeah.
I was gonna say, and Marcus, you're a sex coach. I was watching just a short clip of Sterling saying something about some sex advice, basically. And he was talking about communicating to a woman instead of saying, "Do you like that?" And that's a shitty thing to say during sex. He has this rule where you can only or she can only say four words in terms of where to direct it. It was something like faster, slower, harder, softer, or something like that. And that was in terms of, I'm not sure if that was in terms of intercourse itself or if it was another sexually related thing. God forbid. Uh, what the fuck
Kind
am
of
I talking
lingus.
about? Do you guys have any sex advice? I don't know too much about what you do, Marcus, in terms of that and what you have on this, Sam.
Yeah, so in terms of when it comes to communication, what he might have been talking about, I haven't seen it, but something I encourage is guys to do what I call like alignment sessions. So if you're seeing a girl, it's probably not the best to run on like a Tinder date or some shit, but say you're seeing a girl, it's a fuck buddy or it's your girlfriend, you um get to a point where let's take eating her out, right? You're going down on the girl. And maybe you notice that she squeezes her legs together at some point during this process. And you might think, based on my experience, that means, oh, it's a little bit too sensitive and maybe I need to slow down. Okay. That could be your preconceived idea. Or maybe she like grabs your hair and like pulls it down. And you're like, oh shit, okay. I know that probably means she wants me to go a little bit harder and faster. Right. Or you have girls that like start grimacing. And it's like, hang on, fuck, is that like a positive thing or a negative thing? So there might be some behaviors that like fairly obvious you can pick up on. And there's going to be other behaviors you're not quite sure. And so having like an alignment session is a way where you can keep your authority, where you're not like, oh babe, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you like just like tell me what to do or some shit? Because girls find that super unattractive. So the frame you can set is call it like an alignment session. It sounds very like official. Okay. It sounds like you have some experience here. And I'll tell a girl, I'm like, hey, look, let's have an alignment session. Okay. So basically what this is, and I call it alignment. There's a sex therapist. I'm going to forget her name. But she came up with a very similar thing where it's like 5 minute sessions where your partner touches you where you want to be touched, blah, blah, blah. So the alignment session is essentially, I tell a girl, let's do an alignment session. I'm going to eat you out for the next 5 minutes. Every like 30 seconds, I just want you to tell me, similar to what Cooper might have said, which is like harder, faster, slower, up, down, left, right. You give me a direction or just keep going. The reason you add just keep going is because sometimes if you like just tell me every 30 seconds, the girl falls back into a normal habits of like, fuck, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to like, I'm used to, if I tell a guy what to do during sex, he gets very like upset and defensive and blah, blah. So now she's forced to say something. So even if she's saying keep going, and then at one point she's going to be more inclined then to be like a little higher. And now what this allows you to do is not just, okay, for one session, you're just going to do exactly what she says. It's you start aligning what she's saying to her body language. So now when you notice her legs start to like quiver or like tighten up, does that mean she wants you to go faster or slower? Because in that moment, she's probably going to be like, slow down, right? You're like, oh, holy shit, this whole time I thought she was getting close when she was squeezing your thighs and I kept going harder. What it actually means is a little bit too sensitive. So I know that for her. And so now you start picking up on all these body language cues that you can start implementing. Now, when it comes to communication, if I'm rambling too much, let me know. But when it comes to communication during sex, that is the biggest determinant of like how sex is going to be, how good it is going to be. Because if you could read the girl's mind and know exactly what she wanted, you'd be a sex god, right? We all would be. So now we need to find a way where she can communicate what she wants without losing that idea of like dominance and submission, without losing the whole like, I just want to be told what to do. I just want to be that like submissive person that doesn't have to think or worry and I can just be in my body. Okay. So how do we find that balance? It's going to be through dirty talk. So that's why I encourage all my students to dirty talk. From the minute you take the girl's clothes off, damn girl, oh my God. Oh, your ass is so fucking hot right now. Oh my, you have no idea what I want to do to you. Right? You start with that, you lie down, you start massaging, whatever you're doing, you continue this dirty talk. Now, okay, when you're not exactly sure what she likes or if she's going to enjoy it or you know what it is, you can just ask her. But instead of being like, babe, is that okay? Do you like that? No, now you can use dirty talk. Hey, you fucking like that, don't you? Now, if the girl's like, yeah, it's probably a no. Okay. But if she's like, yes, keep going. Oh my God, fuck me. Then it's probably a yes, right? So you can start using that. And then you encourage feedback. So if a girl does say, oh, that's a bit sore, or hey, I like that. Whatever feedback she gives, a little higher. I always tell her how sexy it is, right? I'm like, I love it when you know what you want. Fuck, that turns me on. Because now she's gonna be encouraged. If she's like a little higher and you're like, oh, what do you mean? And she's like, just high. You're like, okay, fine. Then and you act like a fucking little pussy, right? She's never going to give feedback on that. So yeah, communication is massive. You can have alignment sessions, encourage feedback. Super important. It's going to make you good in bed.
That was fantastic. How can I follow up on anything with the sex score down below? This is just caveating on what he said. There is one thing that I realized that with all the girls that I'd been with, one of the common traits is when like they had intercourse with other people. One of the things when they would say, "Oh, keep going," or "keep going," or "Oh yeah, just there." In a man's brain, they would automatically go faster. For not like it
Mm.
was just like a response, right? And and the girls when you really like vibe it out, you have multiple experiences. It was just the same tempo they wanted, not let's just ratchet it up to 140 beats per minute, right? Just like bang bang bang, like jackracker, right? So what I noticed was like anytime you hear that, I would just make a conscious effort of like keeping the same rhythm a lot of the time, just in sex and understanding that you're energetic beings. So if you can match each other's rhythm there, then you're going to create like a bit of like a almost like an energy vortex, and that's what gets a lot of girls off that I found. But again, I whatever what Marcus just said then was mind
Yeah,
blowing
no,
if they
really
actually
good
listen to
point.
what he said.
Yeah, guys get way too excited too quickly and they go way too
Yeah.
fast. Like one of the first, everyone give yourself this feedback right now because I guarantee for 99% of you motherfuckers is going to be correct, is just slow the fuck down. Okay. If you're
Mhm.
eating a girl out, guess what? Half the speed. If you're making out with a girl, half the speed. If you're fucking a girl, slow it down. Like so true. And this is one of the biggest complaints of women. Is exactly that, which is, oh my God, keep going exactly like that. And guys get excited and they're fucking go right? And then either the guy comes or the
Yeah.
girl gets too sensitive, and then the girl gets sensitive like this, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I made her come." It's like, no, bro, she's got to be sensitive. So, yeah, it's completely true. Yeah, be super careful of that.
Communication during sex. I think a lot of people are missing out on that, the importance of it. And
Yeah,
just imagine having a relationship or even being married to someone and for decades you just don't um calibrate to each other in that way or
mm.
synchronize, let's say. That's a huge miss. I think a lot of guys. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched people, but I imagine
1,000.
already.
I think one of the biggest things is that people don't realize that they do the game and this is what I came to epiphany with a long time ago, which was like when you're having sex with a girl, you're still in the development of the relationship. Like it's still frame controlling. It's still putting them into their feminine. It's still it goes past the sex into how you communicate. So if you're like, oh baby, does that feel good? Does it feel all right? Like acting like a little beta bitch boy, that is still going to be translated into how you communicate in 4 hours, 5 hours time. So one of the things that I fell into, and this is a really good thing, was I was a over pleaser. And this was a really interesting trait. Like I would go above and beyond for the girl and give her this like crazy experience without forgetting that the investment from the girl is also mandatory. Having her do stuff to me is very good. So this is where a lot of guys, we will say like they come too quick, they don't care. But then you got the other part, which was me, which was super over investment. I would be massaging, I'd be teasing, I'd be eating them out, I'd be fucking them right, and then because that was my style. But there was no investment from the girl. And so when there was no investment, it was just like this crazy fantasy experience from her. And then it would translate into the relationship where, because I've done all this, she expects all of this other stuff to be done. So it's like mutually exclusive. Like it's not mutually exclusive. You can't have one without the other. So even in the relationship, understanding the back and flow, the ebbs and flows, the dance it's a dance. So like, get her to do stuff on you too as well. Don't think it's just one-sided where you're just doing everything on the girl, because I know like I would always think, I'm like, if you've ever heard the classic story of Leonardo DiCaprio where he, goes to the skylight and fucks him with headphones on MDMA, just does everything he wants. A lot of the girls will explain that that was like some of the crazy experiences they had. I mean, it's in the dynamics of the relationship. That's why. So when I was too invested, it would hamper the relationship. So it's just like understanding the ebbs and flows of it, the getting her to do stuff on you, you can communicate to her too. That's also hot too if she doesn't take it too personally. Some girls get a little bit offended by that. So if you have that, Mark, what was that period called, the 5 minute where you like do to each other?
Yeah, alignment sessions, alignment sessions. Yeah, I
Alignment
think,
session.
yeah, when it comes to like the first night, yeah, like understanding what she wants in a fantasy is super important. There are some girls that are like, yo, I love to please, I love to suck dick. Oh my God. And so if you're not giving her that experience, like if you are, because I'm very similar, like I get off when I see girls like getting off, right? I really enjoy, I don't even get like, to be honest, I don't really care if a girl sucks my dick or not, right? I'd rather fucking tie her up and destroy it. But if I have a girl that's like, yo, I really love to give, I really love to suck dick, guess what? She's gonna be sucking my dick. But what you said is important, Sam, which is you need to make sure everything comes from a place where you're not feeling like you're just, oh my God, I'm trying to please you. I'm trying to like, oh, is everything okay? And this can come even like after sex. So say you like do have that experience where you do everything for the girl, you go down and you do like whatever she wants, you did, and blah, blah. You can just counterbalance that really easily by after sex, you just lie there and don't talk to her. Right? Sounds crazy, but like you've just given her like this amazing experience. Now you just lie there and don't fucking talk. And she's used to guys doing what? She's used to guys like cuddling her, telling her, oh, that was amazing, babe. Hey, when are you free this week? Let's meet up soon. You just lay there. And now she's like, hang on. Like, was this not good for him? Like, I just had all these orgasms. I just had an incredible time. Holy fuck. Like, why is he not talking to me? She's going to be like, hey, is everything okay? Yeah, yeah, I'm chill. Yeah, no, everything's good. She's gonna like try cuddle you now, and like then she's gonna be like, so do you want to like hang out again? You're like, yeah, maybe, yeah, I'll check my schedule. Like, and so now she's chasing like right away, even though you've done all this crazy shit for her, you can just like pull back a little bit, or at least like not be, incredibly like needy or some shit after that, which was used to be my problem, right? So yeah, it's a really good point. You always like sex is Sam said, is a part of like the whole dynamic. So if you need to balance some shit out, then balance it out. Yeah, I like that.
Very interesting.